Welcome back to another episode of the Consul Series 2025. I'm your host, Lawrence Christoffels from the Global Trade Show. I've got the absolute pleasure now of being joined by Dipak Dhamala, who's the Honorary Consul General here in Nepal in South Australia. Dipak, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, for the opportunity to talk about Nepal and Australia, import and export opportunities.
Our pleasure. Now, I know that Nepal is so close to your heart, obviously. Tell us about your personal background and your journey.
Oh, wow. That's very, interesting because I was born in village in Nepal and then I started, going to the mountains, the most beautiful views in the world, most beautiful sceneries in the world. Then I thought I should start some kind of tourism company to bring people to show those places. Then I started my own business, trekking company.
Yeah.
And then start making friends all over the world. And later on at the end, I start traveling many countries. I like Australia. I end up coming to Australia.
Wonderful. Well, Nepal's on so many people's bucket list. They all want to go there. They all want to experience it. It's, they say it's one of the most beautiful spots in the world. So it's on my bucket list. I want to definitely go and see there one day.
Most welcome.
Thank you. I look forward to we can do some delegations. So, I really want to showcase not just the tourism opportunities, which are there as well, but let's talk about the trade and investment. Tell me I know that Nepal imports heavily. Tell us about some of the industry sectors that may be of interest to Australian sourcing or exporters.
Okay, so Nepal is a country which you already mentioned in the questions. We import a lot of things. We hardly got, industries in Nepal. We got some small industries, but not too big. So anything we import from overseas, that's everything can be produced in Nepal. So the many things like, a lot of clothing, a lot of technical things, technologies, and we buy a lot of things.
Yeah.
From the car, the utensils, the equipment, anything. Any industry, can be established in Nepal from Australian side. And Australians can import many things, like textiles, something very light, like jewelries, some herbs,
really,
medicines.
Beautiful, yeah.
Because Nepal grows any kind of plant.
Yeah.
Because Nepal lies from zero level to the top of the world.
Yeah.
So Nepal is a place they can produce perfumes, anything.
Yeah.
Basically, I would say, look, Nepal do not produce much things. Whatever Nepal imports, Australian can go and establish an industry.
Yeah.
Or anything interesting, like a perfume, cottage industries, textiles, statues, IT products, that anything can be imported from Nepal. So there are a lot of things which doesn't need to go to the trucks.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's also a lot of smart young people coming through Nepal. There's a lot of students coming out as well here to Australia who've got a great relationship with Australia. Very smart IT sector as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Australia and Nepal has got 61 years of diplomatic relationship, bilateral relationship. Not only that, Nepal and Australia have got long history from the First World War.
Yeah.
Because those who are working in army, they should know that Gorkha soldiers and Australians, most of the time, even though Gorkha soldiers were under the British Army, they worked together with Australian Army, even like in Myanmar and Malaysia and everywhere else from First World War and Second World War. So that is more strong, bonding, and compared to 61 years of bilateral relationship.
And as you say, the Gurkhas are world famous scouts, the best in the world. So really proud to I suppose in those times, was so valuable.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
I think there's so many great opportunities for Australian companies. Let's touch on some of those historical agreements and some of the things that how Australian companies can leverage Nepal into that market as well.
Australia and Nepal have got, the treaty, some kind of agreement last year, which is called TIFA.
TIFA, that's right. Yes.
Okay, so this is the main ideas of the both government that to expand the trade relationship because one other thing is, what happens is Nepal has got 30 million people, 5 million more than Australians.
Yeah.
And we have got about 20 to 25% middle class. So which is bigger than Sydney and Melbourne, middle class. So they can afford to buy anything else.
Yeah.
Just like any other country. Although it is a developing country, but we also have got significant number of the middle class.
Yeah.
Which is Australians can export a lot of things. Whatever is consumed here, whatever is produced here. And Nepal also wanted to, they start growing some industries, cottage industries and small industries, and they also want to do business with Australia. That's why TIFA was done. On the other hand, the students are probably the third largest number of students in Australia. So it's a big number of, and Australia is a number one choice. Maybe some of the university, they might establish the brands themselves in Nepal, So like if I give an example of Flinders University or in Adelaide, if they establish a brands themselves, they probably will stop going to America and Europe, and they probably can get more students to Australia, and they are their first choice anyway.
Yeah.
But if they just don't start there, but they will get it whatever it is. But if they want to grab more, they can establish the branches there, then all the Nepalese will stop going other countries. They will start there.
Yeah.
They will end up here. So that's other opportunities there. And the other some other opportunities for the bigger business as well. Now the government have started, the one door window policy. If somebody investing in a bigger business like a hydropower and the oil and the gas and engineering factories, we hardly got engineering factories. So if people invest in hydropower, government guarantees to buy the power.
Wow.
And there is already there is a guarantee amount of how much money they can make.
Yeah.
They know how much they have to invest, and they know how much government paying, and they can see the difference,
Yeah.
So it is one of the biggest things in Nepal. Is a guaranteed profit.
Well, I think that's one of the beauties of these emerging markets like Nepal.
Yeah.
Is that those government agencies are doing so much to attract investment.
Yeah.
From Western markets like Australia.
Yeah.
To bring R&D, technology, joint venture partnerships.
Yeah.
PPP, public-private partnership opportunities.
Yeah.
So Nepal is obviously open for business.
Yeah. Not only that, I can give you some ideas. Nepal is a mountain country.
Yeah.
So going from, let's say, this side of the mountain to that side of the mountain, you have to go that way.
All the way.
All the way. If somebody does the tunnels, maybe 10 minutes.
Wow.
There are big opportunities.
Yeah.
Or somebody can make a rope where there are mountains like this. They can link one mountain to another mountain.
Yeah.
Bridge to bridge with a minimum cost.
Well.
So it will be the greatest tourism attraction in the world, So if you say 100 kilometers ropeway around the Himalayas, what could be the great attraction than that? Like, for example, you go to Canada, you go the train line. You go to Switzerland.
That's true.
They have got train.
Yeah.
There are way opportunities. So, and our government is ready to help with that. I'm happy to put everyone in contact. I'm happy to support them myself as well. There are many things, amazing things can be done in Nepal. So there is a door open for every single things.
Thank you, Dipak. And I think that's one of the reasons this series is so important, because as a consulate, you've got the opportunity, obviously, yes, to support passports and visas and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
But you also represent the trade investment opportunities, which is almost often unsung.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I'm really loving doing this series.
Yeah.
Because it gets to meet people like yourself and who love, really showcasing the opportunities for those countries.
That's wonderful. Look, I'm also interested to, work with, partnership with you about, trade delegations.
Yeah, absolutely.
To bring from Nepal. Somebody already talking about it. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bring trade delegations from here as well. Even we have in 2015, I've spoken to the South Australian government. They were going to join in the trade delegation in Nepal, because when they were going to go to India, it's 1 hour away.
Oh, yeah, might as well go.
Just 1 hour away. So they just wanted to extend to Nepal, for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Then we got a big earthquake in 2016. Then from there it stopped for many years, and then sometime government changed a little bit of problem for us. But now it's okay. So we're ready to do anything, everything. So we're happy to keep going.
Yeah.
We need import export in the business.
Global trade. It's not just, and tourism builds friendship.
Yeah.
Friendships build business.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, so Nepal signed up all free trade market signatories of free trade market, WTO, everywhere else. So,
Absolutely. And there's such lovely people, beautiful food, beautiful hospitality.
yes.
So,
Beautiful place and beautiful place.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As I said before, the bucket list for almost everyone who you talk to about where they want to go, and Nepal's one of their bucket list.
And the place of opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much, Dipak.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Too.
Very nice meeting you.
Likewise,
Thank you so
and looking forward to staying in touch and helping you promote Nepal to all the Australian viewers as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was so wonderful.
Likewise.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.